Welcome to Split, Croatia, a sunny coastal city that's home to historical treasures, charming nearby islands, and a laid-back Mediterranean atmosphere. At the city's heart is Diocletian's palace, an ancient Roman structure that blends seamlessly with the modern city, offering visitors a unique glimpse into the past. Along the shore are beautiful beaches and crystal clear Adriatic waters, making Split a top destination for those seeking both sun and sea. There's a little something for everyone, and for the next 48 hours, we'll be enjoying the best of Split. For the last 6 months or so, we've been dreaming about swimming in the Adriatic Sea.
Yes, this is the thing that I've been looking forward to the most here, I guess in Croatia as a whole, but we were actually talking with our accommodation host about the surrounding area, and she was telling us how important the islands outside of Split are. And so today, for our first experience, we're going to be able to go island hopping, go swimming, and eat some incredible food, but we actually need to walk to meet up with the group and hop on the boat. After stopping at the Blue Cave, we have traveled over to the island of Vis, and we have stopped at the town of Kamija. And this town is a very historic fishing village that was first established back in the 11th century. Our guide was telling us that they even designed their own fishing boats here, and all of the locals back in the day, they were obviously very hungry, trying to feed their families on this rocky island where you couldn't grow too much food, and so they would be searching, trying to find fish to eat and provide for their families. And what they'd actually end up doing is they were all traveling and actually racing to get to this island to eat the fish from this island. But because they were all racing, there would sometimes be people like in last place, and they'd be like, oh man, I'm not gonna get the good spots, I'm not gonna get fish. But it was really cool to hear about, because our guide, he's talked to a lot of the older residents on this island, and he just has all of these stories that he's collected just from talking to the locals. After walking through the outskirts of the town, we're now making our way back into Old Town to try to scout out some lunch, get some food before hopping back on the boat and exploring more of these islands.
This boat tour has been so much fun, and our skipper Madro has been telling us all the history about Croatia, and he is so passionate about it, and so it's making us really excited to learn about it. And also, he is doing all sorts of tricks with the boat, and we're sitting in the back, so the waves are splashing in. I have so much sea salt on my face right now. It has been so much fun, like a roller coaster. So after that very adventurous morning, we have made it to our first swimming spot. Finally time to go test the waters of the Adriatic Sea, see if it's cold or not. I'm guessing that it's gonna be a little bit chilly, but because it's so warm outside, it's gonna feel really, really good. But overall, this tour has been amazing. If you're interested, we'll link it in the description box below. but let's go swimming.
Quick pause as we say thanks to the partner of today's video, Rosetta Stone. Traveling to a new country is always exciting, but trying to connect with a local without speaking their language can be a really huge obstacle. Whether it's ordering food, asking for directions, or just chatting with people, it's nice to know a few words in the local language in order to respect the places that you're visiting. That's why Claire and I have decided to take things into our own hands and start learning German before our next trip to Germany, which we leave for in just a few weeks. As you guys probably already know, we've been using Rosetta Stone to learn Spanish and French, and it's already been a game changer. With just 5 minutes a day, we are picking up on a lot of the basics and even practicing real conversations. What's great about Rosetta Stone is that it doesn't rely on translations. Instead, it immerses you in the language with visuals and phrases so that your brain can naturally make the connection. And let's talk about the voice recognition tool. It's like having a native German speaker coach you through each word. It listens to your pronunciation and instantly gives you feedback so you can sound way more authentic. I've obviously still got a long way to go, but it's exciting to know that there's a tool like this that can really help out. Wohin gehst du? Wohin gehst du? Right now, Rosetta Stone is offering 60% off their lifetime subscription, so you can start learning German or any other language without ever having to worry about renewing your membership. The best part, you also get all future updates. If you're ready to feel confident speaking like a local on your next adventure, hit the link in the description box below to learn more. Thanks again to Rosetta Stone for supporting this channel, and with all of that, back to the video.
Ooh, it's pretty cold. It's definitely on the cooler side, but it feels amazing in the heat. Wow. Look how clear the water is.
This is so nice. All right, time for the first dip in the Adriatic.
We just dipped in the water and it felt so amazing. There are all these little fish swimming around and so many sea urchins. We were making sure not to step on them just because I believe they're venomous, but it was just awesome to finally be able to swim, feel the salt water all over our skin, and now we're hopping back on the boat to go to our next island. Chad has as much sun protection as he can possibly have.
I do not want to be burned. Final stop of the day is the old town of Hvar, which is so historic and beautiful. Up on the hilltop, you can actually see this huge fortress that overlooks the water. And at one point, it was actually controlled by the Venetians here. So in the architecture, it does kind of remind me of Venice.
This is also the sunniest place in all of Europe with 320 days of sunshine, and we are enjoying one of them. Oh, just soaking up that vitamin D.
Yes.
Our skipper highly recommended this restaurant, and we came here for the seafood. And if you can remember from our last video in the food tour, we ate so much fish, so many different options, but I did not get to eat squid. And so today I'm finally trying some Croatian squid. It looks absolutely delicious. It's beautifully grilled. And then Chad decided to get a tuna steak. He's putting lemon on it.
Thank you, amazing food.
This is serious.
Best tour ever.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Ever since arriving to Croatia, we have had one cone of gelato every single day, but there is something about being sun-drenched that makes the gelato taste so much better. And today we got lemon and lavender, which is surprisingly a very delicious match. And I've just gotta say, today's boat tour was absolutely amazing. Our skipper had the driest humor. I found myself giggling all day long, and I absolutely loved the boat rides. Like, just, he made it so fun. Like, we had our hands up, we were just having a party back there. And then once you make it to the islands, it just feels like you're coming out of a storybook. Everything was so quaint and charming and beautiful. Best of everything, you know, you get to see those fishing villages, you also get to swim in those crystal clear waters. So overall, 10 out of 10. If you're interested in the same tour, I'll link it in the description box below. But man, we're tuckered out. We're gonna finish this cone and hit the hay, because tomorrow we have another fun day in Split. So with all that, nighty-night.
This morning we have woken up bright and early to explore Old Town Split, but more specifically, Diocletian's palace. So in case you don't know, there is a UNESCO world famous site here in Split, which is Diocletian's palace. And he was a Roman emperor back in the day. He built basically like this vacation home, but honestly, if you looked at it on a map or a reconstruction of what it used to look like, it looks like a huge fortress. He was a Roman emperor that had a vendetta against Christians, so he actually persecuted so many Christians throughout his life, but he got a little bit nervous or paranoid at the end of his life, so he decided to make a fortress in case the Christians ever came back to attack him. But he was able to live out the final 10 years of his life here in this palace, which we are now walking around. And what's super cool about the city of Split that is unlike anywhere else in the world is because Croatia has had so many different rulers throughout time. In this one city, you can actually see so many different influences. So right now we're in a Roman fortress or palace. There's actually Venetian influence as well. And if you walk over kind of where our accommodation is on west side of Split, you can see this giant boulevard that was created by the French. And then if you walk a little bit farther north, there is a theater that was built during the time of the Austrians when the Habsburg Empire ruled this area. But I'm really glad that we woke up early to explore this area, because it does get pretty popular during the day and it's much cooler when you wake up early.
When I was planning our trip to Croatia, I was expecting to eat seafood for every single meal of the day just because I love seafood so much. But unfortunately, with our jet lag, we've been waking up pretty early and they only serve breakfast items from 8 o'clock to around noon. And so, you know, gotta hold off on the seafood until later in the day. But we decided to come back to this borek eatery, and we got the meat borek and the spinach and cheese borek. And then I also got this like yogurt. Do you think this is a yogurt drink or just yogurt? Yeah, so it's like a liquefied yogurt that you kind of drink while eating these things. So let's dig in. So let's see what you think about the spinach and cheese. We just went back to our accommodation and we've changed into our swimsuits, got on all of our sun gear, slathered sunscreen from head to toe, and we are now heading over to the beach for, you know, some time with the Adriatic Sea. We had so much fun yesterday that we just had to go and swim some more. The water here is just so refreshing and beautiful.
Chilly. It's always so shocking because it's so warm outside, and then you get in the water, it's like, woo! Feels really good though.
looking through their very extensive wine menu, and it went on for probably 2 pages, front and back, is that right? Yeah, and I asked our server, like, which ones are local? He's like, all of them. And that just like blew my mind. We truly are in wine country, and I have myself an orange wine, and then Chad has a medium-bodied white wine. Oh, their wine is just exquisite here. So good, I can drink it all day, but I won't.
I feel like their glasses also just make it so much nicer.
Yeah, it looks very elegant. I feel like I am one with Split just after swimming in the Adriatic Sea, having a delicious pasta dish. Yeah.
That entire meal was so good.
That was one of the best restaurants that we've been to around the world. Everything was phenomenal.
It really was. It was fantastic. I really recommend it if you guys are visiting this area. The service was great.
Service was good. The
atmosphere,
food was good.
the food, all of it was great.
Yeah.
But I think now we are on our way to go and find some dessert to fill our sweet tooth. Somehow the day has already slipped away from us and it is nighttime, and I feel like this is the first time that I'm seeing the streets bursting with people. I think it's because it's much cooler at night, but also it's a Saturday night and the streets are just like alive, and it's making me really excited to come back and explore Split again, just because I already feel like there's a lot more to uncover.
Right, and this is like the first day where our jet lag is allowing us to be up this late, so it's pretty exciting. We're getting, you know, situated in the time zone, but as our final grand finale, we have decided to go to a local bakery that had phenomenal reviews, and we went with the Adriatico cake. Looks so pretty. It's like a little bundle of joy, and it's got like all sorts of fun things on the top, very colorful with yellows and purples, but this is essentially an olive oil cake with lavender, honey, and lemon. I can see why it's called the Adriatico. It just feels like the region in cake form.
Yeah. Ooh, it's so soft.
I thought the cream was gonna be like icing, but it's not. Cheers.
Good thing we carried it. Nice and gentle. That's a Claire cake.
Yeah,
that is a Claire cake because it's light, airy, not too sweet.
Yeah, it's like you're consuming a fragrance. Ooh, this is delightful. One of my new favorite kinds of cake is olive oil cake. It's just so moist. And because it's made with the olive oil, it's a little bit savory at the same time.
Yeah, that's really impressive. That's a good cake.
As we finish off this cake, we will be ending our time in Split here. Thank you so much for joining us, and if you'd like to see where we go next as we continue to explore Croatia, and also as we travel to 50 countries around the world, hit subscribe. With all that, catch you on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.